Yo, what's up guys? It's Noah here, and in today's video, I'm going to be giving out a couple plays I like on Prizepicks for this Week 3 NFL slate for Sunday, for the full Sunday slate of games. For the sake of this video, we're just going to focus on, again, the Sunday games. We're not going to give out any plays yet for like Monday Night Football. We do have another doubleheader for Monday Night Football, but I will make a separate video giving out plays I like for that. That will probably get posted like later, like Sunday night, most likely. So we're going to focus on the Sunday games, and I got 4 props that I want to give you guys for today that I do like for Sunday. We did go 4-0 on our last Sunday video for the Week 2 slate, so hopefully you guys tailed last week. Let's try and replicate that success, and let's try and go 4-0 again this week. But before we do get started breaking down the plays, as always, if you guys do enjoy these Prizepicks videos and if they do help you out, make sure you hit that like button down below. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button if you have not yet. And if you guys are new to Prizepicks, if you have never checked out Prizepicks before, you can sign up for Prizepicks and use my promo code NOAH. If you do look at the bottom of the screen, when you use that promo code NOAH, you will get your first deposit matched up to $100. So basically, you sign up, use my code, you deposit $50, Prizepicks will give you an additional $50 to play with. You deposit $100, they'll give you an additional $100 to play with. So make sure you're taking advantage of that deposit bonus and make sure to use that code when you do sign up. Also, do want to give a quick shout out to Sleeper because we are now partnered up with Sleeper as well. And you guys can sign up for Sleeper, use that code NOAH over on Sleeper, get your first deposit matched up to $100 as well over there. Just download the Sleeper app either on your App Store or Google Play Store, or you can click the link down in the description. It'll take you straight to the Sleeper website and you can sign up there. But on Sleeper, it's a little bit different than Prizepicks. Sleeper does offer a dynamic payout system, so basically, whether you take the over or the under on a certain prop, the payouts do change based on the odds of the play hitting. So if the over has a very high chance of hitting, you might get like let's say a 1.4x multiplier or 1.5x multiplier for that play. But on the other hand, if the over doesn't have a very high chance of hitting, well, Sleeper will give you like a 2x or a 2.5 or a 3x multiplier. So there's really not a ton of, there's no limits when it comes to the payouts on Sleeper. You can make entries with up to 100x payouts. So if you're one of those people that really likes to chase those high payouts, I definitely recommend giving Sleeper a try. And again, guys, if you're not signed up over there, use that code NOAH. You'll get your first deposit matched up to $100. But let's talk through this Prizepicks slate. Let's talk through some props I like for Sunday, guys. We got a receiving yard prop I like this week. We got a passing touchdown prop I like. We got a rush attempts prop I like, and then we got a reception prop. So we're going to be looking at a bunch of different categories. Right now, when I'm making this video on Friday around noon Eastern, we don't have like fantasy scores up yet. There's still a lot of props that haven't been added to the board. As always, I will be giving out more Prizepicks plays in my Patreon. I give out Prizepicks plays. I also give out sleeper plays on Patreon as well. So if you want to check that out, that's linked down below in the description. But I did want to give you guys some plays I like right now, what's available on Friday when I'm recording this video. So let's start off with the receiving yard prop I like for this week. We're going to take a look at Allen Lazard, 30.5 receiving yards. And I actually like the under here on Lazard. So I like less than 30.5 receiving yards. So if we actually take a look on DK Sportsbook right now and we look at their odds for this play, right now Allen Lazard is minus 145 to go under 30.5 receiving yards. So he's pretty heavily favored to go under this line. I wouldn't be surprised if you do see Prizepicks bump this line down a little bit. Now Lazard, you can't really look too much like into these games. These were all last season when he was on the Packers. Obviously on a different team now, playing with the Jets and playing with Zach Wilson. He did have a decent game week 1, did have 46 receiving yards against Buffalo, but last week only 23 receiving yards against Dallas, and that was a game where the Jets were playing from behind. I think Zach Wilson had to throw the ball a good amount last game, or that game against Dallas. He threw the ball 27 times, only threw the ball 21 times in week 1. But you can tell just by how this Jets team is using Zach Wilson, they don't want Zach Wilson throwing the ball 40 times a game. There's going to be scenarios where they probably have to because they're going to be playing from behind a lot. This Jets offense is not very good. When the Jets do win games this season, I think it's going to be because of their defense. It's going to be, in some lower scoring games. I don't see this Jets team really winning a bunch of shootouts. Like, they just don't have the offensive firepower without Aaron Rodgers to put up a ton of points. And this sets up as a perfect game for the Jets to just be able to kind of run the clock, just chew the clock, and let their defense win this game. I mean, this game against the Patriots has a 36.5 total. The Jets are 2.5-point dogs, but this does project to be a competitive game. And I feel like in competitive games, when it's not a negative game script, I mean, Zach Wilson might only throw the ball like 25 times. Like, he's not going to drop back a ton. And so far through their first 2 games, Allen Lazard has only been targeted 4 times. I mean, Wilson, doesn't seem to be locked in on Lazard too much. I mean, I think Garrett Wilson is still the go-to guy For Zach Wilson, just 4 targets for week 1 against Buffalo, 2 catches for 46 yards. And then last week against Dallas, 4 targets for Lazard, 2 catches for 23 yards. Not the easiest matchup here. Really bad game environment. It's going to be a really slow-paced, low-scoring game. This game has the lowest total on the slate, 36.5. I mean, this does feel like a spot where even though Lazard's going to be out there a ton, he's going to play a large majority of the snaps. Even though he is going to be out there running routes, like I don't think this Jets team is going to throw the ball a ton. I don't think they want to throw the ball a ton. I think they want to win games by chewing the clock out and letting their defense win games. That's how they're going to have to win games with Zach Wilson at quarterback. So give me under 30.5 receiving yards here for Allen Lazard. Again, DK Sportsbook has this line minus 145 to go under, which again, pretty heavy juice. We like to see that. Anytime you can find props that are minus 145, minus 150, you can get those props on Prizepicks. You definitely want to be taking that. So that's the first play I like for today. Then the next play we're going to look at is going to be a reception prop, and we're going to take a look at Mike Williams, 4.5 receptions, and this is an over that I like. So more than 4.5 receptions for Mike Williams. So far through their first 2 games this season, Mike Williams, been pretty involved. Had 4 receptions week 1 against Miami. Last week against Tennessee, had 8 receptions. The targets have been pretty good for Mike Williams in week 1. He did have a good amount of targets on those, or he only had 5 targets week 1, but he did get 4 receptions. Last week, though, we did see 13 targets for Mike Williams, 8 receptions, 83 yards. It is worth noting that last week the Chargers were without Austin Eckler, and it looks like once again Austin Eckler is going to be out for this game. Hasn't officially been ruled out yet, but he did not practice Thursday. He hasn't practiced all week, so given that Eckler has not practiced all week, I think there's a pretty good chance he won't be playing come Sunday. And without Austin Eckler, I mean, that does open up a lot of targets. Even though Eckler is a running back, he still gets targeted a lot in this passing game. And this is a Chargers offense that love to throw the ball. They're going to drop back a ton. I mean, you look at Justin Herbert's pass attempts line for this game, it's set at 37.5. Like, there's a good chance we'll see Herbert drop back 40 times or more in this game. And this is a great game environment. This should be one of the highest scoring games, if not the highest scoring game on the slate Sunday. This Vikings and Chargers game right now has a 54 total, which is by far the highest on the slate, 6 points higher than the next game, which is Miami and Denver. So there's expected to be a lot of points scored in this game. There's expected to be a lot of offense. These are 2 teams that love to air it out, that love to play fast. So this sets up as a great game environment. And without Austin Eckler right now, we're going to see a lot of targets for Mike Williams. We're going to see a lot of targets for Keenan Allen, and that was the case last week. Both those guys pretty sure got double-digit targets. Allen, I think, had Keenan Allen last week had 9 receptions. He had 8 receptions on 10 targets, and then, like I said, Williams last week had 8 receptions on 13 targets. If you're going to give me even 7, 8 targets from Mike Williams, I think he's got a pretty good chance of getting 5 receptions here, and I wouldn't be surprised if he sees double-digit targets once again. So love this spot for Mike Williams. Love this spot for the Chargers in general. This is a great game environment. Should be a high-scoring game. Really like Mike Williams' chances of getting 5 receptions here. Last season, is worth noting, the Vikings did give up the most receptions per game to opposing wide receivers, so great matchup. We kind of already stated that. And then also, if you look at DK Sportsbook right now, the odds on this play are really good. Right now in DK Sportsbook, Mike Williams is favored minus 140 to go over 4.5 receptions. So wouldn't be surprised if you do see Prizepicks bump this line as well. Hopefully, by the time you're watching this video, it'll still be at 4.5, and you can get it at 4.5. But those are the first 2 plays I like for Sunday. Let's take a look at another play I like. We're going to look at the passing touchdowns category. We're going to take a look at Josh Allen, 1.5 passing touchdowns, and this is another over that I like. So more than 1.5 passing touchdowns for Josh Allen. So far through the first 2 weeks this season, Allen he's over this line in one out of their 2 games. Week 1 against the Jets, obviously, we all saw that game. That was the Monday night game. Josh Allen did not look great. The Bills' offense did not look great. Allen only threw 1 touchdown in that game. But the Bills' offense bounced back last week. They put up a ton of points on the Raiders, and Josh Allen threw 3 touchdowns last week. Now he gets another pretty good matchup this week against the Commanders. This is not, a defense I'm really scared of. If we look last season, the Commanders did allow 26 passing touchdowns to opposing quarterbacks, which was 9th most in the league. So pretty good matchup here for Allen. The odds on this play are also very good. If we take a look at DK Sportsbook right now, Josh Allen is favored minus 140 to go over 1.5 passing touchdowns. And we know this is a Bills offense that loves to throw the ball. They're going to air it out a ton. If you take a look at Josh Allen's pass attempts, first 2 games this season, in week 1 against the Jets, he threw the ball 41 times. Last week against the Raiders, even even though the Bills won that game by 28 points, Josh Allen still threw the ball 37 times. Like, this is a Bills offense that they don't take their foot off the gas pedal. Even if they're playing with a lead, they will still be out there. They'll still be out there throwing the ball. And when they get into the red zone, they love to throw the ball with Josh Allen. They're not a team that runs the ball a ton in the red zone. And if you take a look at last season in terms of like, if you look at team offense stats and you look at passing offense stats, only the Chiefs had a higher touchdown percentage when passing last season. The Chiefs led the league with a 6.3% touchdown percentage when passing, or percentage of their touchdowns thrown when attempting a pass. The second highest team in terms of percentage of touchdowns thrown when attempting a pass was the Bills. So again, this Bills team, when they throw the ball, usually good things happen. They have a lot of weapons. When they get down near the red zone, they love to throw it with Josh Allen. They love giving him, the opportunity to, just do it with his arm. And we're seeing the Bills, gun it right now. I mean, Josh Allen's throwing the ball 35, 40 times a game. And even in games where they're playing with a lead, like I said, they don't really take their foot off the gas pedal. They keep, they're going to be out there gunning it and throwing the ball still. So I think this is a spot where, once again, we'll see the Bills offense put up some points. I think right now they have a pretty high team total. Let me take a look. I think the Bills, right now they have, 25 team totals. So they're expected to score over 3 touchdowns this week. If the Bills offense scores 3 touchdowns, I think there's a good chance Josh Allen throws 2 of those 3 touchdowns. So give me Josh Allen, more than 1.5 passing touchdowns as our third play for Sunday. And then our fourth and final play we're going to look at is going to be a rush attempts prop. We're going to take a look at Patrick Mahomes, 3.5 rush attempts, and this is another over that I like. So more than 3.5 3.5 rush attempts for Patrick Mahomes. So if we take a look at weeks 1 and 2 so far this season, Mahomes is over this line in their first 2 games. In week 1, he did have 6 rush attempts against Detroit. Last week, the box score I'm looking at says he had 7 rush attempts last week. Prizepicks says he has 6, but either way, he's been over this line in both of their 2 games so far this season. We are seeing Mahomes run the ball more this year. I don't know if this is something that's going to continue, but again, week 1, he did have 6 rush attempts. Last week, he had 7. He had 45 rushing yards in week 1, 30 rushing yards last week. And if you look at last season, the Bears actually allowed the most rush attempts per game to opposing quarterbacks. So teams, running quarterbacks would have a lot of success against the Bears. Mobile quarterbacks, would take off against this Bears defense. I don't know if maybe the Bears played like a lot of man coverage, and that's why, you saw a lot of quarterbacks running against the Bears last season. But this is a really good spot for Mahomes to, use it, get it done with his legs. And I do want to mention that for rush attempts, when it comes to NFL, if a quarterback takes kneel downs, like obviously if, let's say the Chiefs are winning this game and, it's the fourth quarter, let's say there's 2 minutes left and the Chiefs have the ball and, the 2-minute warning just passed and they're just trying to kneel the ball down to end the game. All those kneel downs count as rush attempts. So there's definitely a chance that like Mahomes could have 2 or 3 rush attempts heading into the fourth quarter. And then, the Chiefs have the ball with like 2 minutes left and they kneel the ball down to win the game. And those count as rush attempts for Mahomes. So it's not like we need him to scramble 4 times. We could get some rush attempts from kneel downs because, again, like I said, those count as rush attempts. And I think there's definitely a scenario where this game plays out. The Chiefs have a lead heading into the fourth quarter, and they're kneeling down the ball, or they're kneeling the ball, or Mahomes is taking a knee to run the clock out. Because that could happen. Those we see games end like that a lot. This is a spot where the Chiefs are big favorites in this game, so you do expect you expect them to win this game against the Bears, and if they're playing with a lead, there's definitely a chance you could get some kneel downs in that fourth quarter for Mahomes, which would obviously be huge. But really, the odds on this player, what really stood out to me, I was looking at DK Sportsbook on rush attempts props. I was just looking through all the different categories. And right now, Patrick Mahomes is minus 166 to go over 3.5 rush attempts. You almost never see minus 166 props available on Prizepicks. So I'm almost very confident that at some point this line is either getting bumped up to 4 or Prizepicks is just going to pull this off their board entirely. So I think this is a really good play. The odds are very good on this play. And we talked about how this could hit. I mean, Mahomes could continue to scramble a lot. The Bears did allow the most rushing attempts per game to opposing quarterbacks last season. We could also get some rush attempts, just from kneel downs. I mean, let's say the Chiefs have the ball. Let's say, the Bears just put up points or something, and the Chiefs get the ball with 10 seconds left, right before halftime, and they take a kneel down. So that's 1 rush attempt. And then we get to the end of the game, the fourth quarter, 2 minutes left, and they have to kneel the ball down 3 times to win the game. Well, that would be 3 more rush attempts. So like literally Mahomes could get this from kneel downs. Obviously the chances of that happening are kind of slim, but there's just so many ways for him to get some rush attempts here. And he's been running a lot more this season. So I like this play quite a bit. The odds are great on this play. That's one of the main reasons I like it. But this is what I'm going to be rolling with for Sunday, guys. These are some early props I'm liking for this Sunday slate. We're going to be taking Allen Lazard, less than 30.5 receiving yards. Mike Williams, more than 4.5 receptions. Josh Allen, more than 1.5 passing touchdowns. And Patrick Mahomes, more than 3.5 rush attempts. If you guys are going to be tailing me on these 4 plays, I wish you the best of luck. Hopefully we can cash out this week. As always, guys, appreciate you watching these videos, supporting the channel. If you guys enjoyed, make sure you hit that like button down below. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button as well if you have not yet. We went 4-0 on our plays last Sunday, so hopefully we can do that again this Sunday, make some money. But if you guys don't have an account on Prizepicks yet as well, you can sign up for Prizepicks. You can use my promo code NOAH, and you will get your first deposit matched up to $100 when you sign up for Prizepicks with my promo code. But that's all that I got for this week, guys, for the Week 3 slate. Hopefully we can all win some money this week. Excited for Sunday just to watch some games again. I mean, it's always so exciting when Sunday comes around, sweating NFL. It's literally just, I mean, who doesn't enjoy it? Who doesn't enjoy it? But yeah, guys, appreciate you watching. Best of luck this week. We'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.